All right, we're gonna just do a recording here. It is game day, and let's do a kind of a quick rundown on the game. So first, let's talk about why Detroit will win the game. All right, I think that there's going to be three big pieces that allow us to win this game. First, I think it's belief. The players believe in Dan Campbell, they believe in the coaching staff, and they believe in themselves. Hell, the fans even have this feeling of inevitability. It's our time, right? We can beat anyone, and you know what? We probably can. So, I also think that like thinking and knowing you can do something are a big piece of actually accomplishing that task. So I think having the belief that we've got in ourselves will be one of those things that propel us to victory. All right, so what else? Number two, we got a very dynamic offense. Gibbs and Monty form a top three ground game. Sun God and Laporta, who might play, I think he's still a game time decision as of right now. They are both formidable receiving targets, and we really get the most out of our ancillary receivers like Reynolds, Khalif Raymond, Jamison Williams, those guys, right? They are a part of this offense, and they do a really good job at it. We also have one of the best offensive minds scheming and calling plays in Ben Johnson. Like Detroit, the Rams secondary is the weakest part of their team, and this is a position group I think we should be able to take advantage of throughout this game. Third, we got a great run defense, and we can put up some really strong defensive line pressure. Aiden Hutchinson is an elite pass rusher. He's one of just two players with over 100 pressures on the season, and also has double-digit sacks. Lee McNeil is back in the middle of the line. And the Lions were sixth against the run this season. They have the talent to stop the Rams' Kyren Williams, the only running back who averaged over 100 yards per game this season. Kyren was also, I believe, only the second running back to be in the top three rushing yards while also missing 5 games. Barry Sanders, I believe, was the other person in that list. So the dude is good in his second year. So those are the reasons why I think Detroit can and will win. All right. So what about LA? These are the reasons why I think LA can and will win. Right? I don't necessarily. It can go either way. We'll get to that. But these are the reasons why LA can win. They also have a very dynamic offense. This is not a dig at Goff, but LA has the better quarterback. Stafford is healthy. Cooper Kupp, 2021's Offensive Player of the Year, is healthy. Puka Nacua is potential Offensive Rookie of the Year candidate, breaking the catch and yards record. The yards record stood for almost 70 years. And Kyren Williams, the only running back to average that 100 yards per game. They're both young studs. They're going to be really difficult to stop. The Rams started the season slowly with Kupp hurt and Kyren Williams missing time. But since they've been healthy, they have been unstoppable. When Stafford, Kyren Williams, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp are on the field together, the Rams are first in the following: EPA per play, drop back EPA, drop back success rate, rushing success rate, points per drive, yards per play, rush EPA. They're first in all of that when they're on the field together. That is one of the reasons why they have been so strong. That's an absurd amount of things to be number one in the NFL at. Detroit's secondary is not good and has had trouble stopping opposing superstar receivers. The Rams have 2. So this is going to be a huge test for our secondary. The second thing that I think will help LA propel them to a win is momentum. They're 7-1 in their last 8 games, with their only loss being a shootout overtime loss to the Ravens. You know, the team that blew us out. During those games, Stafford has played as well as he ever has in his career and has bumped himself into the MVP conversation. He's not going to win it. That's probably going to go to Lamar. But his play has been so strong over the last half of the season that he's actually in that conversation right now. They feel like they can beat anyone right now, and they probably can too, just like us. I think either team can beat any team in the league the way that both teams are playing right now. Third, defensive line and the pressure that they bring. Aaron Donald was elected to his record-tying 8th All-Pro team. Kobe Turner, the rookie defensive tackle, tied Donald's rookie sack record and has been a force. Very good chance he's a defensive rookie of the year. If not, he's going to be a finalist for sure. They're stout against the run, and they bring a ton of pressure to the quarterback. Okay, so those are the two different sets of reasons why we can win, why they can win. So let's talk about some of the keys to the game. I think that, as it turns out, the keys to the game are really the same for both teams. So let's get to those. Get an early lead is number one. We're not really made to come back from deficits. Not that we can't. Just look at the Chicago game to see that we can. But that's just not really how we're built. We need to get the ground game going early. We need to set up the pass. We need to be methodical in our execution. If we get behind early or by multiple scores, we're going to have to abandon the run game for large chunk plays through the passing game and becoming one-dimensional. And that just is not a recipe for our success. And just from the Rams' perspective, if they get an early lead, they literally do the thing that we don't want, which is to give up, to be behind. So both teams need to get that early lead. It's going to be critical to both the success for either team. The second thing, I think a lot of these are kind of duh type of things, but execute. Detroit is third in the red zone touchdown percentage. LA is fourth. We're real tight. LA is ninth in third down percentage. Detroit's 10th. LA's fourth in fourth down percentage, and we're 15th, though we've gone for it quite a few more times. So that does not, it's a little bit different there. But LA and Detroit are tied for the second least amount of turnovers in the league. One could argue the aggressive coaching decisions in Dallas cost the game by not taking the field goal early or kicking the point after at the end. But honestly, it was our execution of those plays that were poor. Goff was under a little pressure and missed the open receiver for the touchdown early. He also underthrew the third two-point attempt at the end of the game. We're not even going to talk about the first one. But if our offensive line plays stronger early or Goff makes either of those throws, both of which he's capable of, we win. I don't think those were coaching decisions issues. I think they were execution issues. LA's had their share of execution-related lapses as well, with multiple drops likely costing them that Baltimore game, the one game that they've lost in the last 8 tries. So I think making sure that we execute effectively and efficiently is going to be key to victory, and the same for LA. And then third, last and certainly not least, also a no-brainer in the league at this point, getting pressure on the QB. So while Stafford is generally pretty good at handling pressure, he's not immune to the hurried or off-target throw. So if Hutch can get into his face, Neal can push that center of the pocket back at him, make sure collapses on him, he'll have to get out the ball quicker, likely or potentially off target. It's pretty well documented. Goff doesn't handle pressure particularly well. When things don't go as planned and he has to make plays outside of structure, he makes a bunch of mistakes. We've done a really good job of limiting that and making sure those plays go a little bit quicker, quick out routes or quick hot reads. And he tends to do that, especially as the stakes go up. Aaron Donald, Kobe Turner, Byron Young are going to be a lot to handle, but the Lions have a top 3 offensive line. If they can handle that pressure, I think the Lions have a really great chance to win this game. So what all does that mean? Who wins this game? I think the winner will be, drumroll, whoever wins the turnover battle. Yeah, I know. It's a bit of a cop-out, and it's probably a bit of a kind of an obvious no-brainer, but I really think it's going to matter a ton in this game, and probably more than most. Why? I think it's going to be a shootout. If Donald, Kobe Turner, and crew can get to Goff, get him off his game, force a turnover or two, I don't think we're going to be able to recover. If the Rams get an extra drive or two because of turnovers, they're just going to win. I just don't think that you can't win a shootout if you've got fewer bullets, right? If Hutch and company get to Stafford, or Branch or Anzalone puts their helmet on the ball, Kyron's ball security has been fairly weak in his young career, and we get the extra drive or two, that could be the game for us. So I think that it's going to come down to who can force turnovers and who can take the bullets out of the opposing team's gun in this shootout. Last I saw, the Lions are 3-point favorites with an over/under of 52 points. Both teams are 5-3 against the spread. I want to say the Lions win so badly. I mean, I want that more than I like Stafford. He's my favorite player. He got his ring. I want him going home sad. I've got my Lions t-shirt on underneath my hoodie here. Yeah. I've got my Lions hoodie on. I've got my locker room NFC Champions. Actually, I bought an NFC Champions hoodie today to wear for the game as well. I got my championship locker room hat on. I've got Hutch jersey that's going to go over top all this stuff at game time. And I'll probably toss on my Lions PJ bottoms, my Lions dress socks, and probably snuggle up under my Lions blanket because I'm going to do my part. I want them to do theirs. I don't think my part's going to have as much impact on the game, unfortunately. My heart says that Iffy, Melifonwu, or Branch is going to pick off Stafford or force a fumble a couple times. We're going to win by a touchdown. My brain says that's not going to be enough. I'm not sure. The Rams offense has been the league's best over the last 8 weeks. I just don't have enough faith that our secondary can stop Puka and Kupp. While also stopping Kyren Williams. They stack the box and stop the run. I think Stafford and those two guys are going to eat us up through the air. If we kind of set back and lay back into the secondary, Kyren Williams has been the best running back, single running back in the league this year when it comes to yards and yards per carry, all that kind of stuff. And I think he'll just get the yards on the ground. I think Donald and Turner will probably get to Goff. It doesn't take a bunch of times. It's not like the offensive line has to collapse every single play for that to get to Goff. I think just that kind of pressure. I just think that we're going to end up having one more turnover than they are, and that's going to be the difference in the game. So my official guess is LA 31, Detroit 30 in a shootout. I've never wanted to be wrong so badly in my life. I want to send Stafford home sad. I'm not wearing a Stafford jersey. I'm going to be wearing a Hutch jersey. But I'm not sure that the good news is their secondary is the worst part of their team as well. And I think that we have the ability to do that. I think we have ability to take advantage of that secondary of theirs. They're not huge on the turnover side when it comes to creating them in the secondary. So I think that has things going for us. I think the amount of pressure that they're going to put on us is going to cause more of an issue for our offense than the pressure that they're going to put on us, or that we're going to put on them will cause for theirs. So I am hoping to God that I am wrong and we get to have a Victory Tuesday show. This is my official prediction. Again, that's more my brain, not my heart. So let's go either way. This is going to be awesome. First playoff game in Detroit in 30 years. I got a couple friends going to the game, so I hope they have a blast. I hope we win for them. I hope we win for all the Detroit Lions fans everywhere. Let's see. I think we're going to have a really strong game. I think it's going to be really close. We've got we got to get it done. I think we can. I think we can beat any team in the NFL. I think we can beat Baltimore, even though they blew us out early. It was just a rough game. I think we have the ability to beat them. I think we can beat the Niners. I think we can beat the Rams. I think we have the capability on any given Sunday to beat any of those teams in the league. There's a ton of pressure at home right now. They've got none. They were expected to win 4 games. Coach of the Year candidate Sean McVay has brought them into a 6 seed. They're not at home. We're at home. I think they have the better coach. I love Dan Campbell. He'll get there, but Sean McVay already has a Hall of Fame resume and was the youngest coach in the league up until like 4 days ago. So I think they've got an edge in coaching there as well. But I think that we can beat anybody. I'd love to see this be the big breakout thing from not just Dan Campbell, but Jared Goff, get through some of those things, execute those demons kind of thing, or exercise those demons and whatnot. But I don't know. I want it to happen so bad. Part of me is just like, am I picking them to lose because I don't want to be disappointed? Because I don't want to be disappointed. I think we can do it. But if I set myself up for expecting a loss, then it won't hurt so bad if we do. But I think we can do it. I'm just not sure we will. So we do have a Discord. The URL should be scrolling across the screen here in a moment. We have a game day chat channel, so feel free to jump into the Discord. Obviously, it's free. And maybe we can do some real-time chatting in the Discord there. Otherwise, we'll be back on Tuesday, hopefully for Victory Tuesday, and talking about our next playoff game. But until then, go Lions. Let's see what we can do. Let's prove me wrong. Let's do this thing. All right, see you guys.